I do believe, technically, you will find this week I am indeed early by 1 minute. Welcome to another live stream, episode 128 in a row. 0 weeks missed, apart from last week. We won't talk about that. How's everyone doing? I feel like I've not been here. I feel like I've been AFK, away from keyboard for some time now. We're getting back into it. Exciting times ahead at Smelts Pressure Washing. We're doing things. We're preparing. We're going to hit 2026 and it has no idea. It has no idea what's coming. So many things planned and we're going to actually execute, and it's going to be insane. We're going to take over Redditch. You missed a few weeks. No, I didn't. Did I? You missed 2 weeks in a row. You even missed 2 weeks in a row. I didn't miss it. It's not been 2 weeks in a row. When I went on holiday, it was 2 weeks in a row. Pretty sure. How are we going, Tracy? Welcome. Nick, welcome. Craig, welcome. GLPWS, welcome. Happy Monday night. Finally bit the bullet and bought a gutter back. Black Friday deal. Nice. How much did you get it for, Tracy? Which one did you go for? What is that noise? What is... It sounds like a donation. I don't think anyone's donating, are they? Oh, I know what it is. It's my, yeah. I've had to use the browser version of Discord because my desktop Discord keeps crashing. Speaking of Discord, it's never been a better time to be part of the Discord. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Nick, welcome. I'm not late. I was early today. Thank you very much. Finch, welcome. Are you going to be there on Friday? Are you going to the PWS AS demo day? I'm assuming you will be. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this Friday, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to deal with that sound. Can anyone else hear that, or is it just me? So for those of you that don't know, these guys over at Pressure Washer Sales and Service are hosting a demo day this Friday. I'm going to be there with all my kit. That reminds me, I've got to clean my van. We're going to be doing some roof cleaning demos. You can play with my Lance. You can free coffee and pizza. There's the address just up there. Look, so be there or be square. Mark, welcome. Gleengard, welcome. How you doing? I'm doing all right, thanks, mate. Doing all right. Although I don't have a coffee. Daz, welcome. Are you going to be there? Read what I put you, sausage. You missed 2 weeks in a row when you were on holiday. Yeah, I saw. All right, calm down. I can hear it. What is it? It's got to be that Discord, hasn't it? It's got to be this. I think it's everyone. Every time someone's writing a message in the Discord, I reckon. I might have to see if I can mute that. By the way, that noise was not me. It's the dog. She's down there today. Coda. 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 I don't know why she's pretending she's asleep. It's annoying. Oh, alright, I'll get rid of it. I wonder if I can... Notification settings. I know I don't want to mute the whole channel as a whole. I just want to... Sound. Voice activity. Noise suppression. Notifications. I think I've got it. Enable desktop notifications. Sound. Message. Preview sound. No. No, I don't think it's Discord. I don't think it's that. What else could it be? No one knows. Either way, you are going on Friday. I think he said it's like 9 till 4, but I can't remember. It was on the Facebook group. Alex, welcome. Yeah, 9 till 4, I reckon. Or might be 9 till 2. Is it Steam? Maybe it's Steam. Wouldn't be Steam, would it? I will figure it out in a bit. I'll check. Enable chat box notifications. Disable chat box notifications. We'll find it. We will find it, don't worry. Evening Cedars, welcome. I wish I could make the open day. Such good lads over there, just too busy this Friday. Well, it's a good job really, because there's many people out there that aren't busy, I suppose. It's getting into that time of the year where people are thinking less about exterior cleaning or more about buying Christmas gifts. I paid $15.25 including a 25-foot carbon clamped pole, plus the generator, plus delivery. I had 20% off, should have been 1,900 quid. Nice. Sounds like a deal. Which vacuum did you go for? Big one or small one? Evening Jed, welcome. I'm calling in to PWSAS tomorrow, so I'll ask. Okay. Delivery was included. Nice. So speaking of the Discord, for just a tick, if you don't mind, I have just, and I am in the process. It's never been a better time to be a boosted member. So for those of you that know, when you join the Discord as a boosted member, you get access to this little bit on the side here called boosted images. And all of these pictures become available to you for your marketing, for your leaflets, for your website. All of these before and after pictures, absolutely stunning, high quality before and after pictures. And I'm in the process of adding about 2,000 new photos. I've just done all the block paving ones, so that one's finished. There is loads. These are all the pictures that I took in 2025, and there's absolutely loads of them, and they're all, if I do say so myself, they're all fantastic pictures. I would suggest some of these pictures are some of the best on the internet. I know it's a bold statement, I understand, but I mean, where else can you get before and after pictures this good? Take this one for example. Super crispy, super high quality, boom. You know what I'm saying? And when you become a boosted member, you can use them however you like. So these are all the new block paving ones. I mean, have a little sticky beak at that. Yes, I'd love a coffee.
No, I'm making you a wine, wasn't I?
Oh, I'll have a wine and a coffee. That'd be lovely.
She got one.
She got what? She got a fine. We've been fined from the school for taking our kids out of school to take them on holiday.
Per parent, per child.
£80 per parent per child. How many kids have we got?
2.
We've got 2 kids.
Can you work it out?
So it's 80 times 4, isn't it? Which is 200.
Nope.
Hang on. 80 times 4 is 1632. 320 quid.
Still cheaper than some holidays though. Or a lot.
Cheaper than taking them in the summer holidays.
About double, wasn't it, for that sort of stuff?
Does anyone else hate it when they hike the prices up during the school holidays? I mean, I understand supply and demand. What was I doing the other day? I I was thinking about this the other day. Where were we? And the prices were just insane. Well, one thing, the wedding, anything to do with the wedding, they just bumped the price up for absolutely no reason. It's exactly the same service as you'd expect from a birthday, but as soon as you put the word wedding in front of it, they like triple the price.
I mean,
insane.
You would expect a little bit better service, wouldn't you, for a wedding?
I don't know.
Better food.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't expect a 3-course meal for a birthday.
What was it the other day? Oh, I had a really good example of something that just has no business being so expensive. Oh, I think it was food. That was it, the cinema.
Oh.
Yesterday, the cinema.
Yeah.
We got a little tray of nachos and a popcorn, a large popcorn, 18 quid. For a little tray of nachos with some cheese poured on it and a large popcorn, £18. Where else can you get away with charging that sort of money? Do you think it's insane? I'm married to a teacher, so holidays are always stupid money. Ah, you've messed up there, Daz. Liam, welcome. It's been a while, mate. How you doing? Oh, you got the Panther. Nice, Tracy. Well done. Good vacuum. We use the Panther every day, almost. And if you check out, I mean, I can show you some examples. You know what I mean? All these new gutter clearing images, you can see the Panther has been doing us proud this year. It's been absolutely working its socks off. I mean, we've got the big vac out there. We do occasionally whip out the big vac. Not that we necessarily need to for residential stuff. I think I just wanted to give it a little run because it had been sat for so long.
Sorry, can I just ask, do you want wine and a curry?
A curry? I love a black coffee.
No wine.
And a wine, please, a red wine. Can I have a small squeeze of vanilla in my black coffee?
Too much in the other day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was a bit too sweet the other day. You only need a little pump,
I thought I literally put hardly anything.
Just little.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Oh, I've got the big boy out there as well. Look. I mean, all these pictures. There's the Panther. Look. It's a very dirty Panther at the minute. We've just had it serviced by Goods Vacuum Systems. Actually, they had it off us, serviced it, pretty much replaced the motor and everything. Replaced all the filters because it was absolutely knackered inside. Because I've sucked up all sorts with that. I've used it to clear floods. I've used it to suck up cement dust from when we've been grinding and repointing, which apparently you're not supposed to do. It's not very good for the motor. Cement dust is like super fine. But I mean, look at the before and after pictures. It's just, where else can you? You know what I mean? Little Panther. She does good. Plenty of suction. People always worry when they want to order the Panther. They worry that they're not gonna be able to suck at height. But I can guarantee you. I've used the Panther. I can probably show you on my website. In the gutter clearance section. See that one there? I don't know if you can see that. This picture here is, we were doing a school in Malvern, and that would be 4 stories, wouldn't it? If they were regular windows, it would be like 4 stories. Can't remember how many poles we had on there, but it was a decent. It's probably like 8 poles there, I think. And the Panther cleared that gutter absolutely fine, beautifully. My Tidy Garden, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Become a boosted member, there you go. So when you get into the Discord, connect your YouTube account so Discord knows that you're a boosted member, and then you'll get access to all these pictures, look. But I mean, if you're in the process of creating some leaflets, creating your website, there's literally just endless amounts. We did a commercial job the other day. Look at that. Boom. This one, look. Some big gullies. So I've still got to add. Let's have a look. What else have I got to add? Pictures. Where are we? Before and afters. No. Boosted images 2025. So I've still got to add all these for slabs and concrete. Again, just endless amounts of photos. 255 items in slabs and concrete. Bearing in mind, we've already got a slabs and concrete section that's already got, I don't know how many photos are in there at the moment. I will go through and count them up, so we've got a tangible figure for each pack. But there's just loads. So I've still got to do all these. I've been using some of the newest photos for my new website as well. I'm building a new website, which is very exciting. Thank you, Craig, a member for 29 months. You seem too happy today. Did you take last Monday off and get? Okay. I'm not too happy. Things have been a bit rough. I'll say that. And so I'm coming out of the back end of it now, and I'm trying to be positive. I like the idea of Discord, but how do we feel about using other companies' pictures? Might get the job and then not be able to achieve the results, and that's your responsibility. It's a very good point. I don't think people should use these images and say, here's one we did today. Here's our work from this weekend. Or I don't think that's how you should use them. I think a lot of people, a lot of big companies as well, they use stock images, stock footage, readily available all over the internet, iStock Photo, all those sorts of websites. I don't think this is any different. But I do agree, if people are promoting it as their own work, if they're, let's say, for example, let's have a look in the tarmac folder. Say, for example, these kinds of images. If someone has never done a tarmac restoration before, that one I should probably not put in because it's got my van in there. No one's going to want that, are they? If someone's never done a tarmac restoration, then I don't think they should be using the images. And I mean, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, and it makes no difference to me. But if you're going to use these photos irresponsibly and try and claim that you can do work that you can't, then it's going to lead to a bad review, and it's no way to build a business. But if you're going to use the pictures responsibly, and you've done a few jobs here and there, you know you're capable, but you're not yet, you've not got enough material behind you to like build a decent website or put a decent leaflet together, you want to do a couple of Facebook promotions and stuff, like, I think this is ideal. And I understand not everyone's going to agree with it, and that's absolutely fine. We're all different. That's what makes the world an interesting place, is that we're all different. I don't know what I'd do. Would I use someone else's promotional images? I mean, Good to Vacuum Systems have got a few on their Facebook page where they've said, like, they've got a separate folder to say, like, if there's anyone that needs some gutter images, feel free to use these for promotion. I think the gutter ones are lower barrier to entry than something like a technical sealing job. So I agree with you there. Like, a gutter image, before and after for a gutter image, I think most people could probably, regardless of what sort of equipment they've got, I think most people could achieve that if they tried. I don't think you can really fail at gutter clearing unless you don't unblock a downpipe or whatever. But when it comes to like the more technical stuff like sealing, and a lot of the sealing work I am keeping to myself apart from the tarmac sealing. So I've got a folder here called Special, And a lot of these jobs are sealing jobs, which I'm not just giving out, because some of these are quite like, I feel a certain way about them. Like that was like a week's work, and we put so much into that it wasn't just like a quick gutter clear. Some of these images, like we really grafted over. Something like that, I'm not sure I'd readily give that one away, you know what I mean? Some of the more technical, like limestone restorations and the pattern imprinted concrete restorations, like, yeah, I don't think those ones, for example, I don't think I'd want to give someone new to the industry those sorts of images, because I think it's, especially with sealing, I think you're just setting someone up to fail, really. I still maintain that I reckon most people should be doing at least 12 months worth of pressure washing work before they even entertain their first sealing job, because I think it's such a there are a bunch of risks, I think, with sealing. Risks that a lot of people don't really understand until something goes wrong. And by the way, the Discord group, it's not just about the images. So although I'm only promoting the images at this point, the Discord group is actually a help and advice group first and foremost. So thank you so much.
That's 175. That's the cheaper one.
Have you got yours?
Nope. Didn't do one.
Does anyone think that's enough? By the way, I'm drinking again. It's December. Give me a break. Does anyone think that's enough for the first drink at a wedding that's like free?
If you choose wine.
It's like on us. So if you choose wine, you can either have a pint of beer, pint of cider, Prosecco? Are we doing not Prosecco, just white wine, red wine,
yeah,
rosé?
Prosecco's £9.
Are we doing rosé?
Nah.
No. Is that enough for your first drink? That's 175ml. Or do we go large and do 250ml?
225.
225. What do we reckon? Drink Smooth Brew coffee. It's the best on the market, really. Smooth Brew, where can you get that from? Do you just tip the dirt into the bin, including the water? No, we strain the water out. We use woven polypropylene bags. We strain the water out. You can also put them in a tub. So if you have a little sticky beak at this, occasionally, what I've started doing, which I think is a very good strategy, empty all the waste, and it's good to do this periodically around the property just to keep your vacuum light. Empty all the waste into one of these buckets. These buckets make it super easy to tip out the water, because the water sort of rises to the top and the heavy waste sinks to the bottom. So you end up with just like a puddle on top that you can tip out into a flower bed or something. And then these buckets make it really easy to pour into one of those woven polypropylene bags. Trying to pour the vacuum straight into one of those bags is really difficult. But if you use one of these buckets first, one, you can just keep offloading the waste into the bucket really quickly, so you can move around the property more quickly. And two, it just makes everything a lot easier.
Oh no, sorry, you were right, 250.
So 175 and 250.
Please note some prices may change in the coming weeks.
Oh. What's your opinion on using a small pressure washer for clearing the gutters? I'm a female, it's really hard scrubbing them. I agree with you, it's not just because you're a female, but it's one of the hardest, probably worst services that I offer. It's one of them jobs that I think is not quite there yet with regards to our methods. It's kind of like roof cleaning. I don't think we've really found the final phase of roof cleaning with the equipment that we've got. I think cleaning gutters, faces and soffits should be easier. But yeah, you can use a small low pressure washer. You can use a pressure washer on low with a nice wide fan jet. We've done it a bunch of times, but the issue we found is generally we're still scrubbing them. So you can do like a pre-pressure wash and then a chemical treatment, and then a scrub, and then a rinse, and it's just like an extra piece of equipment to get out the van. Like, you're sort of doing enough anyway with your water-fed pole, maybe your gardener backpack, maybe your pure water resin tank, or pure water from the van or whatever. And then to add the pressure washing system on top of that as well, it's such a lot of faffing about for such a low ticket job. It just doesn't really seem worth it for me. But if you can get if you can find a good system and a good repeatable way to easily navigate around the property and clean the gutters, you're not tripping over hoses and all that sort of stuff, then great. But we haven't found that way yet. Preston, welcome. You're right, mate. I see what you're saying regarding pictures, and I guess if you're a Discord member, hopefully you know what you're doing. Yeah, hopefully the pictures are used correctly. Yeah, I mean, if people are making the time and effort to join the Discord, this is why I haven't just made an online shop and made them available to purchase online. Is because then it's just like I like the fact that people are joining the community and they're seeking help and advice, and they get the pictures as an extra bonus for being a boosted member. So you can join the Discord as a circle member, you just don't get access to the photos, that's all. But it's up to you. Yeah, it's not for everyone, I understand.
I want to stick around for the wine answers and then I'm going.
Okay. I wouldn't use photos for something you can't do. Yeah, exactly. Cheap ass every drink should be free. What, for a wedding? Just put $5,000 behind the bar? I don't think so. I remember when I went to the Pure Seal party. How much was their bill? Do you remember? They did an open bar basically and paid the tab at the end, and their bill, I think it was about $2,500 or something. But no, we're actually penny pinching for this wedding. We tried to do the wedding for tried to do the wedding for $10,000, and I thought $10,000 is like a decent budget. I think, like, if you can't do a wedding for $10,000, like, what are we doing? What has the world come to? But you can't really do a wedding for $10,000. Like, if it's photographer's £1,500. Kira and Harry had the videographer. That was like another what?
Oh, ours was we got a bargain with that photographer.
How much is it per guest?
I don't even know if you add more on.
Like £100 a guest or something.
Yeah, we got like
Oh.
What's it called? Like a package deal, didn't we?
Yeah, package
For
deal.
40.
And we're basically getting the wedding half price, because the venue half price, because we're doing it in winter.
20% off.
In January. I thought it worked out to be like almost half.
No.
Oh man.
No, we had half left to pay the other day.
Oh.
Just sausage.
No, I'm sure it was like almost double price in.
Oh, sorry. Then in.
It is.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sausage.
I thought you meant for a date in January.
No, so
We got
so because
20% off because we went on a Thursday.
because we did it in January instead of in the summer, we've got it for like half price, and then we got another 20% off because we did it on a Thursday for some reason. But like, weddings are insane. I don't know why they're so expensive. Again, it's like you want a cake. You want to buy a cake, right? If you want a birthday cake, it's going to be £30. If you want the same cake, but you call it a wedding cake, it's going to be £150. You want a bouquet of flowers. Your bouquet of flowers. You can go to the shop and get a bouquet of flowers for £30, a really nice bouquet. But you say you want some wedding flowers, same bouquet.
How do you know it's the same bouquet?
£150 for some flowers that are going to die in a week.
Moshi said Discord's paying for it.
Discord's paying for the wedding.
And he said that's a big glass heart attack. Someone said that's a big glass. Bit more, looks a tiny.
It's the camera as well is warping the perspective. That's how big it is compared to my head.
Looks a tiny bit too small. Don't know what to do then. What do you reckon?
When you do your first job, i.e. sealing, is it scary? Do you learn on the job or practice before? I was talking to Rich about this the other day. I think it was Rich.
Oh, goodbye.
See ya. Thanks for the drink.
You're welcome.
Doing any job for the first time is nerve-wracking, and even if you've been doing exterior cleaning for a long time, if you're approaching, let's say for example, you've never cleaned a conservatory, but you've been doing windows, you've been doing fascias and soffits and stuff. I don't know how you'd be in this situation, but say you've been going for 2 years and you've not cleaned a conservatory yet. That first conservatory is going to be nerve-wracking, and you're going to learn so much that day. You're going to learn that you've underpriced it 100%. You're going to learn that it takes almost twice as long as you thought it would, and you're probably going to learn that you actually don't really fancy doing conservatories again. And it goes for any service, I would say. I think people in the chat could probably agree with me. Sealing is probably that feeling times 2. I think maybe I put too much emphasis on sealing. There's a lot of people that seal stuff all throughout the summer and rarely have an issue, and they don't see it as a big deal. I think now that I understand how sealers work, or I'd say partially understand, and I understand what can throw the sealers off and stuff, I'm very aware of what can go wrong with sealing. And yeah, I think it's nerve-wracking every time I do a sealing job. It's nerve-wracking, but I think those feelings are good. It means you're learning. It means you're testing yourself. It means you're not stagnant. The more times you can test yourself, and the more, as soon as you stop feeling like you're being challenged, then you probably need to start looking for something new, because I think it keeps life fresh. Imagine if pubs used measures for alcohol. In mil instead of, what do you mean? Are you being sarcastic? I can never tell with you, Daz. I don't know what you mean. Thanks, awesome advice. I'll get one of those buckets. No worries. Yeah, because these little vacuums get really heavy. As soon as you suck up any water, imagine you've got like a little bit of standing water in the bottom of the gutter on just one small run of gutter. That could probably equate to like a couple of 2 litre bottles of water. And imagine that just sat in the bottom of the vacuum and you're just trying to like hoik it around the property. It's not fun. So the more often you can like decant it into a bucket, the better. How do I change my name to my company, Preston's Pressure Washing, to show the live in the comments? That's a very good question. You'd have to change your YouTube username, which you can do in your YouTube user settings, I believe. It might take a couple of hours to update. We got married in Florida because it was cheaper to fly there and stay for 2 weeks than it was to get married here. No way, that's crazy. My mate can do that wedding cheaper. Getting married next year myself, prices are brutal. They actually are. It winds me up. This is the biggest reason that I just didn't want to get married, is because I just can't justify spending all that money for literally one day. Since I sort of switched to being a little bit more business minded when I started this business, and a little bit more like investment minded and assets versus liabilities and all that sort of stuff, the idea of a wedding just didn't make any sense to me. But Studley Castle 15 years ago, 40 guests was over 11 grand. All venues were well overpriced. Studley Castle. That's only 40 guests. I didn't go crazy on mine. It was 25 grand, including the honeymoon. That was 5 years ago. Oof. Today I had a great time learning about Preston's pressure washing, and I also benefited greatly from watching your videos. So what do you recommend for machines under £1,000, as I'm a beginner? Mohammed, it sort of depends on your situation. Are you running out of a car? Have you got a van? Are you doing it on the side of like garden maintenance? Are you a window cleaner? Are you like, what's your situation? Have you got anything going already, or is this your first business? You don't have a van yet, you know what I mean? tell me a little bit more about your situation, and then I can probably recommend a sort of system to get you going. Weddings are a scam, fact. Did you practice, or was it your first sealing job for a customer? Good question. My first sealing job was for my mum's neighbour, and I had no business sealing this patio because I didn't know, again, I didn't understand what I was doing. So it was a rainbow Indian sandstone. It was honed, and I didn't know what it was. So first of all, mistake number one, I didn't know what the surface was. So it was this stuff. Very, very posh. Crazy patio. She knew that I had just started. My mom told her I'd just started. So I feel like liability was, she understood. She also provided the sealer from the company who sealed it when it was first installed. But this stuff's just beautiful. So the issue was, which I now understand, like hindsight, years later, the issue was that I should have treated this, what am I doing? I should have treated it with a biocide. Can I open image in new tab? There we go. So in the corner under the tree, or under the bush, this isn't the patio, this is just a random picture I found on Google. In the corner there was like an algae stain underneath the bush, and I pressure washed it, and I'd done my research, so I knew I needed hypo. No idea what the surface was, so I didn't know whether the surface was hypo safe, so I did a little test patch. I was gambling, I was literally gambling as to whether this was going to be good or not. Test patch looked okay, didn't really make any difference, but I pressure washed it, brushed some hypo in with the bucket and brush. No surfactant. I didn't know what surfactant was. I was wondering, like, what? I wonder how everyone gets their hypo so foamy. I didn't know what surfactant was. Brushing it all in. It made zero difference. So I don't know what sort of dilution ratio I was using. I thought I was using about 1:5, but I could have been using anything for all I know. The algae stain remained, so it was across about probably 3 slabs, a deep dark green algae stain, just from where the bush was overhanging the patio, and I couldn't get it off. And I just said to her, like, I've pressure washed this twice. I've used the chemical treatment and it hasn't really made an impact. Do you want me to still seal over it? And she was like, yeah, I think it still needs sealing. So I sealed in this algae stain. So what I would have done differently now, I'd have known this is honed rainbow Indian sandstone. I would have known that I should have treated it with a biocide treatment, which would have absorbed into the surface and it would have removed that green algae stain. I would have known that hypo doesn't really do much to these honed surfaces, and I would have made sure I used my own sealer that I researched and read up on and ideally had experience using, that was perfect for this surface, because she just gave me some random sealer and I had no idea what I was using. Using a random product that you don't know what it is on someone's patio, expensive patio, is a no-go, in my opinion. Mohammed spent the day with me today and wants to get into pressure washing and stuff. I told him about the Discord and the live tonight to ask questions. Nice! That's very cool, Preston. Oh, you changed your name. Did look like it worked. Nice. That's very cool. How did you two meet? I got a mate who owns a wedding venue. He owes me a favour. Is work less busy now we're in winter? Yes, 100%. Although I've not been advertising, so I'm not a very accurate reflection. Pressure washing work is definitely less busy, probably for everyone. you'll find that roof cleaning and gutter clearing work, if you're advertising correctly, will be picking up this time of year. Speaking of which, if you join the Discord, we have lots of roof cleaning images, from scraping to pressure washing, chemical treatments, some really nice before and after pictures. I've actually got a bunch of roof cleaning pictures to add from this year. We did a few more roofs this year than we did last year, so got a bunch more to add. Stuff like this, look. I probably won't put that one in because it's got my van right in the background. Look, no one's going to want to use that one for their leaflet, are they? Some really good roof scraping pictures. That dog is snoozing. She is snoring like a good one. Never mind the health and safety that you see in this image. This is the first time I've ever set up a tower like this. I'm not going to lie, it was quite effective. Probably won't be doing it again. Not safe. I've also been working on my website, so we've got some quite exciting things to come. Not before we answer Craig's question. This is a shock, actually. Normal question from me. A normal question from Craig. A question where Craig isn't taking the piss. Insane. When you hired Jakey, did you see a hit financially in regards to profit, or did you just increase the workload right away? If he didn't have, I paid for his pressure washer, so that was like about $3,000. That was about a $3,000 hit straight away. If he didn't have a pressure washer, if he didn't have his own pressure washer and he couldn't actually be on the tools, if he was pushing a broom around, it would have been a different situation. But no, we managed to literally almost double the workload and get through almost twice as much work, and I took no hit financially, really. Oh, she's done a good job with that. Look at that, look at that timing, with a promotional discount at the bottom as well. Look at that. 5% off gutter vacuum systems. Exclusive. If it would have been different if he was just pushing a broom around, or sort of training for 2 or 3 months. I threw him in at the deep end and I said, look, here's your machine, here's how you use it. And it was nice because every single job he was able to get hands on rather than standing back and watching me. I think if you're doing gutters, like the quantity of gutters that you're doing, Craig, I don't know how effective that's going to be because it's going to be on the job training, and I don't know if 2 gutter vacuums and 2 sets of poles is going to be very beneficial on residential properties. I think that's just probably going to get in the way. It's going to be more equipment, more faffing about with equipment, more stuff to clean out at the end of the job, more stuff to pull out and pack away at the end of the job. On a pressure washing job, where you're there for a couple of hours, it makes more sense. On a gutter clearing job, I don't think it makes as much sense. However, having one person inspecting and the other person doing the clearing, I think would be very, very beneficial. Me and Jakey and me and Rich, when me and Zach was doing it as well, having one person watching and saying, no, back a bit, back, yeah, okay, you've got it, come this way, one person holding a camera, one person on the ladder telling you where to go with the gutter vacuum, speeds things up massively. It saves that back and forth of like, you think you've cleared the gutter out, you turn the vacuum off, you climb up the ladder, you check the work, and there's still a bit down there. You go back down, turn the machine back on, carry on vacuuming, turn it off, go back up, try and get that after picture, and you think, oh god, there's still some more there that I've missed. That happened all the time when I was on my own. But having that second person to guide you and not waste any time speeds up the job massively. And it doesn't matter who's doing that. So if you're training someone, they can inspect while you're clearing the gutters, and then on the next one you can inspect while they're clearing the gutters, and they'll pick it up very quickly. I think I'll just be getting them going straight away with their own van and doing 2 or 3 gutters a day, and then posting leaflets, standing driveways, etc. while I do all the pressure washing. Could work, could work. I'm thinking about doing something similar. God, I'm hot. Turn this radiator off. I've only got the radiator on because I like to have warm toes. Yeah, that could definitely work. So we're looking at doing something similar. Let me show you my website because I'm making some interesting changes. I've been speaking to an SEO guy that watches the live streams, and he got in touch after watching the live stream and said, I think I can help you. He also wants a quote for his roof and his driveway, so I'm going to go over and see him in the morning. Mohammed, you got a car right now. So I would suggest if you've got a car, I know I'm flicking back and forward between subjects, but I like to try and get these questions while they pop up. If you've got a car, what I would recommend is the last thing you want is a big massive pressure washer, because then you need a big massive buffer tank as well. Because if you can't, say you buy a 15 litre per minute pressure washer and the customer's tap only gives you 12 litres per minute, you're going to starve that pressure washer of water. You're going to potentially like overheat your pump and cause damage and stuff. I would suggest starting out with a small system, something like a carry frame pressure washer. So something like this. A couple of different ones to choose from. So I would personally keep it under 13 litres per minute, so then you don't need a buffer tank. Or I would suggest you don't need a buffer tank anyway. You could do 12 litres per minute, but let's take that one for example. So 12 litres per minute, 150 bar. That is plenty to pressure wash any driveway. So the only thing that happens when you increase the litres per minute and you increase the pressure, all that does is enable you to clean quicker. You get more cleaning power, you get more flow, you can clean the surface quicker. In my experience, it doesn't affect the efficacy of the clean. As long as you're using the right nozzles, you get the same result at the end. It just takes you, potentially twice as long, depending on what sort of machine you've got. So this one you could plug straight into the customer's tap. I'm not sure if this comes with any kit, so you'll have to have a read. Oh, it comes with a lance and the hose and stuff, so that's cool. You can throw this in your boot, and all you need then is a little hose reel. You can carry it around the property nice and easy. A little low pressure hose reel to plug into the customer's tap and you're good to go. That's what I would suggest for someone working out of their car. If you're going to buy anything from CleanLink, I have a 5% discount code that should pop up in the next couple of minutes on the screen. I think it's just Smelt. Or you can go to my link tree, which is that link tree just down there. Look. Hope that answers your question. That's why I started wheelie bin cleaning as well to the services, to add the services. Sorry, I can't read. On quiet times, I can go clean bins. So what I've found with bin cleaning is to do it legally, you need a huge investment in kit. You can't just go pouring out the dirty water into the road because you'll get heavily fined in the UK. So I think we're going to be rebranding. I did a little Trump. I didn't do a little Trump. I did a little Trump action. I think we're going to be rebranding in 2026. Let me know what you guys think of this. So, some of you guys know that my sister has an interior cleaning business, which is called Smelts Cleaning Services. So we're considering, she's just hired 2 employees. She's doing very, very well. She's considering, or we are considering, changing this to Smelts Interior Cleaning. Changing my business from Smelts Pressure Washing, which is very niche. We're going to be changing that to Smelts Exterior Cleaning. And then also bringing my brother into the circle, who has just set up his own waste management business, and he is Smelts Waste Management. And we're all planning on using this logo as a base for all 3 businesses to make the branding similar. He's doing well already. Like, if you consider he's only been going about a week now, he's got 185 followers. His content's actually getting likes. He's getting a decent amount of. He's got so much organic work. He's made his website, and that looks proper. It looks proper. He's going to be doing confidential waste and commercial stuff. His website's really good. And so we're going to potentially rebrand to Smelts Exterior Cleaning, Smelts Interior Cleaning, Smelts Waste Management, and they are going to all be under the umbrella of Smelts Cleaning Group. What do we think of that? Smelts Cleaning Group. Your brother will make the most money if he does it right. What sort of statement is that, Darren? What do you mean? That's such a weird statement to make. I think the same guy sends me 10 emails a day saying he can get me to the top of Google and the website needs tweaking. Maybe. This guy's put a lot of work and effort into helping me without asking for a penny. So I don't think I get like 10 emails a day as well from people saying that my website's crap and I need help with SEO and stuff. Like, it's not that guy. Darren, you're very pessimistic. I'm looking to buy an XJet. Do you have any contacts that ship them to Belgium? Yes. So you could either get one from AC Pressure Washers. Sure, they'd have no issue shipping to Belgium. So these guys are the main importers of the XJet M5. So I'm sure they'll be able to sort you out. You could also go to Rutland Pumps, and they have their Project, which in my opinion is the better version of the XJet. And I'm sure they would have no issue shipping. You might have to just like phone them up or send them an email to get them to ship to you, because it might be awkward for them, but I'm sure they'd have no issues with that. What cameras are good for Gutterback? Not ridiculous cost. good signal, and what pole and clamp. I can't speak on that, unfortunately, Tracy, because I don't know. Sorry. I've only ever used my... Hello.
Hi, can I have your phone? Log me into the bank.
I've only ever used this one, which is a DJI Action 4, and it's fantastic. I can't imagine the cheaper action cameras that you get with some of these gutter kits are actually going to be that good, to be honest with you. I can imagine they're probably just cheap Chinese nasty stuff. This is the one I use. This little fitting here is from Gardner Pole Systems, and it fits straight onto the water-fed pole. Exterior Essentials. Exterior Essentials and was it Mitch, or is Mitch Exterior Essentials? I get you both mixed up. I'm sorry. Exterior Essentials, and who was I messaging last week? It wasn't Mitch. Regen. Gave me the little nudge that I needed a couple of weeks ago to actually like get the ball rolling on it. Like my accountant said it. My accountant said, "Why aren't you pushing each other? Why aren't you promoting each other's businesses and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, fair point." And the other thing was, we're all building 3 different websites. We're all trying to advertise in 3 different directions. Why aren't we sort of doing it together as a family, proper family-run business, and just have a different branch for each? You know what I mean? I'm even thinking, why don't we just merge websites and build one website together? Although Zach's is impressive and he probably wants to do it on his own, it's fine. I know 2 local waste management companies and they're loaded. Cleaning group limits you to just cleaning businesses. Group would be better, more like more scope. But I also, do you not think if you call it Smelt Group, do you not think that's limiting in terms of keywords on Google and stuff? Do you not think the word cleaning... Sorry, I'm just taking my socks off. Do you not think the word cleaning is more likely to tell people what it is? If they search interior cleaning Redditch and Smelt Group came up, it doesn't really roll off the tongue, Smelt Group. Do you think they know that's a cleaning service? I don't think they would. I think Smelt's Cleaning Group. I think it points people in a better direction, personally. In my opinion. Nice music, perfect volume. Good, thank you, Tracy. That is the feedback we like. Sorry, I was at checkout when you were talking about rebranding. In regards to all you going under one roof, is that for tax reasons? No, literally just so that my brother was asking the other day, actually, like, what, you don't benefit, like, why would you want to do that? If anything, it hurts you. And like, I'm not doing this to save tax. I'm not doing it to make more money. I'm doing it so that we can be a family unit, and I can raise Pip up, I can raise Zach up, we can feed each other work, and my customers become aware of my sisters and my brother's businesses. Their customers become aware of mine, and I think it just feeds. I like the idea of being like a family unit. I think it's good. Jamie says, I think you do a fantastic job. Thanks, Jamie. Smelt's Cleaning Solutions. Maybe. You wouldn't advertise the cleaning group, you advertise the service you offer, surely. So, yes. My issue with that is someone types in pressure washing Redditch, and the first hit is Smelt's Group or Smelt Group. I'm not sure people are going to click on it because the name is weird. You know what I mean? Are you all getting a unit together? I went to see a unit this morning. How did you know? Expensive. About 1,600 quid a month, including VAT. I don't think we have to pay business rates because the type of property it is. You get like 100% small business relief, which business relief on business rates, it doesn't matter your turnover or your profit. It's not the size of your business, it's the size of the premises, which is weird. So the group will own the unit and bill each branch for 33%. So further down the line, we were thinking Smelts Cleaning Group would be like a holding company, I suppose, and then it would bill us, and then we would save 33% on costs and stuff. But so I've been working on the website. Can I get to this website, guys? Jesus, they're trying to show you the website. It's nowhere near done. I've just been tinkering today and sort of adding stuff. So I'm just in edit mode at the moment. This isn't none of this is published, but changing the front image to something a bit more clear. So the idea for this would be, and I think this is going to be a question for the SEO chap that I'm meeting tomorrow, and the marketing chap. I'm going to ask if I change the domain of this website to Smelts Cleaning Group instead of Smelts Pressure Washing. I can imagine it does, but does it sort of destroy all the work I've put into this website? I think it probably does with regards to reach, and I think it'd be basically like starting the website again. Even if I change all the links in all my YouTube videos and my socials and stuff, I think it will tank the traffic, which is temporarily it's fine, because I don't really put too much thought and effort into the Jake, you're meeting the SEO guy. He's going to restart your website, mate. He's not going to restart my website. What are you talking about? You guys are so like pessimistic. Calm down, will you? I know what I'm doing. You can't SEO a GoDaddy site very well. You need a WordPress website. Oh, there we go. Another blanket statement from Craig. Craig, Jesus, you guys need to relax. There's 100% stuff you can do with the GoDaddy website. I've been doing it. Backlinks and all sorts. So now I've got these drop-down menus at the top. One for exterior, one for interior. So my sister's going to have like her own section of the website that's going to... I'll probably do hers in white and stuff with her logo and things. The exterior side... so we've got drop-down menus for each service now. So I'm doing like pressure washing is going to be its own page. Nothing really has changed there. But we're going to be doing... Again, roof cleaning page, nothing changes there. I'm going to try and add some more galleries and update some of the pictures in the galleries and stuff. I think people like to see that. Gutter clearing, just updated a sort of header image, which is nice. And then we've got patio restoration. So this is a new service I've added. Not done with this page yet. I'm not very happy with the way it looks, but this is, none of the text is final either. I'm just sort of playing around with the imagery, but I haven't been advertising this as a service. So unless you watch my videos or unless you see my Facebook posts, you don't know that I do this service. So with regards to like grinding, cleaning, chemically treating, sealing, and then repointing these surfaces, no one really knows I do it unless you actually follow me. So this is a massive thing that I've been, and this is some of the work that we enjoy doing the most as well. And so I think this was a big missed opportunity last couple of years, not having this on the website. And I think coupled with like a nice gallery at the bottom, a bunch of before and after pictures that we've done, which again you can also find in the Discord if you go onto the repointing part of the Discord. If you need any before and afters for your business, feel free to use some of these images. So we've got repointing, we've got sealing and recoloring. So this is going to be, again, I haven't put anything on this yet, but this is going to be sealing and recoloring. Will mainly be probably pattern imprinted concrete, tarmac. I'm going ham with the website basically. I'm putting everything on there that hasn't been on there. So there'll be lots of tarmac images like these. That one's a pretty good one. Yeah, pattern imprinted concrete, some of the limestone as well. I've got this like special folder for like limestone sealing as well. Where are they? It's like these ones. I think that makes a good cover image. I might rotate that actually. That'd be good. Again, the pattern imprinted concrete ones, because we don't advertise that we do sealing either. And then I think my biggest stroke of genius, not that I'm full of myself or anything, but my biggest stroke of genius so far, and I don't know why it's taken me all year to think of it. You know, we've been doing these free gutter inspections. So if you look on my Facebook, a couple of weeks back, I posted God, it was a while back, wasn't it? These images, and I've said free gutter inspections in and around Redditch. Fill out the form if you'd like to book your free gutter inspection. Absolutely no strings attached. Book here. And we had a flurry of bookings, and they led to a bunch of work. And so I've proved that this works really, really well. But I've realized it's something you've got to maintain and keep poking people with, because if you don't do it, if you don't keep it active, there's another one there, look. If you don't keep posting it, people stop getting in touch. So I posted it once, got a flurry of messages, then nothing. Posted it again, got another flurry of messages, and then nothing. And so it needs maintenance. So I thought, oh, how about, it's counterintuitive, right? But how about, instead of running ads for gutter clearing, why don't I run because I've proved I can convert free inspections into gutter clears. I can convert free prospects into paying customers. I've proved I can do it. So why not just run an ad for free gutter inspections? Which is massively counterintuitive, because people are thinking, I want to run an ad on a paid service that I'm going to make a bunch of money on. Not not on a free service. That's counterintuitive. Why would you do that? But I've proved that it works and that I can generate money from doing it. So I think I'm going to use this page. I'm going to do some backlinks for it as well. So free gutter inspections, Redditch, maybe Bromsgrove, maybe Droitwich, I don't know, Ashford Bank, Alvechurch, like around my town. And I'm going to run a Google ad on that. And I think that's going to be a banger. I think that's going to do really well. You'll be doing free test patches next. Yeah, true. Some people might even click on the ad thinking, oh, gutter inspection. Our gutters need doing. And then they might scroll down and think, actually, I'm just going to book to get the gutters done because I know they need doing. A lot of people are just going to click book now and book us for a free gutter inspection. If they're interested in the ad, it means they either think they need clearing, they're curious because they haven't been done for very long, which probably means they need clearing, or they've got some sort of leak or overflow. Trying to assemble my Christmas tree and watch. What do we think of that as an idea? I think that's brilliant. Just let you know. Waste management needs a big yard which needs to meet environmental agency regulations. He's not doing that sort of waste management. At the moment he's doing waste collection, which is sticking a bunch of waste in the van and going and tipping it. I think he's already discovered how quickly the van fills up. He's making money on scrap, so he's also getting like scrap dishwashers and washing machines. He picked up a ride-on lawnmower today that someone just wanted gone. It looks brand new. Insane. But yeah, it's not one of those yet. It's not one of those waste management companies. It's just a small sort of man in a van style at the moment, but he is looking to expand. So when we said to the when we went down to look at the unit on the phone, she said, what's the unit going to be used for? And I said, well, I do pressure washing, my sister does interior cleaning, and my brother's just started a waste management business. And she went, ooh, bearing in mind I've never spoke to this woman before, she went, ooh, that might be a problem. I was like, okay, you're a great saleswoman, thank you for flagging an issue. It's like within 2 minutes of the conversation. Great. Because waste management, you can't store waste generally without permits and stuff and special properties. This is going to be a game changer. Thanks, Dave. What happened to Jake, who got his whistle wet last week and was happy at the start of the stream? I'm still happy. Shut up. A website is top priority for me over Christmas. 5 years without one, but feel it's time to start pushing. Very good. I've never really... I've built the website and I've added a few bits to it occasionally, but I've never really seen it as a priority. I always thought a website is a great way. So I thought residential work comes from Facebook. Commercial work probably comes from website. I didn't really think the two would overlap very much, but the other thing I lack the understanding of is that you can't climb to the top of Google without running ads and like paying a lot of money for SEO and stuff. And I found that if you type in pressure washing Redditch, I think I'm at the top organically, which is, I think, because of all the social media and stuff as well. So I'd sort of disregarded the website because I thought I'm not really targeting commercial work at the minute, so it doesn't need to be terribly fantastic. But now I think I'm going to push the website. I'm going to add all of my services so that people actually know what I do. I'm going to include backlinks on all these services for different locations in and around Redditch. I'm going to add my sister's services on the website as well. And then I don't know if my brother wants to be a part of it yet, but I might add him. And we'll see what happens. I'm curious if changing the domain is gonna sort of ruin everything, but I'll have to talk to him about it. I thought you were gonna stop offering sealing. So there's a few sealing jobs that I don't mind doing. Mainly tarmac sealing. I don't know what I want to do. I do some of the sealing work we did over the last couple of years is some of the work I've been most proud of, and I think sealing definitely has its place. I think it's great for like a patio restoration as like an add-on. Like, we're going to grind and repoint your patio. We're going to grind, clean, repoint your patio. For an extra £400, you can have it sealed as well, and that's going to help protect it for longer. And the sealing the patio makes the repointing process easier as well, because the Nexus Titan sort of glides over the surface a little bit better, and it doesn't absorb in so fast, so it doesn't dry out so quickly when you're installing the jointing compound. So there's a bunch of benefits in certain areas where I think sealing's really good. Some of the pattern imprinted concrete jobs that we've done are like really impressive, so I haven't ruled it out. I've just had it. I'll be honest, sealing did take up most of my bandwidth this year. Thank you. It was the thing that caused me the most stress. So there is that as well, with regards to like weather, having to reschedule stuff, things going wrong, and I'm having to return and rectify stuff, having to move the whole calendar around because suddenly the weather forecast changes. Like, it's not easy. Tracy, yes. DJI Action 4. Most landlords don't want mechanics or waste type customers in their properties. Fair enough. DJI Osmo Action Pro 4. I don't know if it's an Osmo Pro. DJI Action 4 is what it says. So yeah, we're in the process of. I like that I sort of niched down originally and called it Smelts pressure washing, but now I'm sort of thinking it doesn't encompass. It doesn't encompass all of the services I offer, so I don't think it's appropriate anymore. But I'm 5 years in, and like, is it too late to rebrand? Is it going to ruin? Is it going to ruin stuff? Am I going to lose traction? I don't know. And with regards to the unit as well, I need to be able to justify the cost of a unit. It would get me out of here. I think it's long overdue that I have like an editing suite and like a podcast studio, so I could do that as well. We could have a base of operations for Smelts Cleaning Group, so all three of us could use it. The side of my house is like filling up with it's just storage stuff, sand, equipment, barrels of sealer, barrels of hypo. Just if I could get all that away from the house and into like a nice dry unit, and I can organize. Just the idea of being able to organize things. I love organizing stuff. When I used to work at Aldi, my favorite job at Aldi was cleaning the warehouse. I would do such a good job at cleaning the warehouse. I'd pull everything out, I'd sweep, I'd use the floor cleaner, I'd put everything back, everything would have its place, it would be meticulous. And I just love the idea of having. I also like the idea of in the morning, the boys sort of parking up and that being the sort of base of operations where they start the day at the unit, load the van with what they need for that day, rather than just having everything in the van, which, you know, you're tripping over stuff all day long. It's annoying. I just cleared so much space in the van and then like immediately filled it back up again with more equipment, and I don't want to do that. So I want them to be able to, like, clearly labeled boxes, clearly labeled chemicals. You start the day at the unit, put what you need in the van, and then send them out on their way. And this ties in really nicely with having someone just on the gutters, because what I'm a bit concerned about is if I employ someone just to do gutter clearing, and they're out doing 4, 5, 6 jobs a day in their own little van, I'm never going to see them. I'd have no reason to see them. And so it'd be nice if they started the day at the unit, we put a plan together, they load up whatever equipment they might need, and then they head out for the day. I'm also thinking, if I'm going to get someone doing gutters full time, there's a lot of equipment that needs updating. Like, the ladders that we use at the minute are really heavy, and there's bits on them that are broken and stuff. And if someone's going to be out there on their own, one, they're going to need like an inspection camera on a pole. 2, they're going to need a decent set of ladders, which hopefully they only have to use once or twice a day, if that. Someone brought it up in the Discord the other day about, I think it was Christie's Gutters. He said, like, I'm concerned about sending someone out on their own, clearing gutters, getting up ladders and stuff, which is a valid concern. I don't know how you overcome that, because there's some people that think every ladder should be footed, and if you're working off that basis, then that person can't work on their own. I don't really believe that every ladder needs to be footed necessarily, as long as you're using decent ladders and ladder mats and standoffs and stuff. I think you're fine, but if something were to happen, you'd want to be able to demonstrate that you were doing everything possible to make sure that that person was safe. It's the next step that needs to happen. You're bigger than just pressure washing. It's a full restoration service. Possibly, Dave. Yeah. Ben's Gutters the second. I don't know about that. It's going to be more local than that. I'm not trying to take over the UK. I'm just trying to. I like the idea of Smelts gutter clearing. I don't think there's a specific gutter clearing service in my town, so I might even separate the business and have that as like another business. Because when you think of, I mean, when someone types in Smelts pressure washing, or when someone types in gutter clearing Redditch and then Smelts pressure washing comes up, why would they click on a pressure washing service to clear their gutters, even though some times of the year we're doing more gutters than we're doing pressure washing? It's not intuitive. So I'm trying to work out everything and make sure it's intuitive, the customer flow, make sure it's all clear. Ben's Gutters sends one person out. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Christie's used to work for Ben's Gutters. I think the idea would be is to get them an inspection camera, so that unless they've got a blocked down pipe, there's no reason for them to need to get up a ladder. In theory, it should be quicker because they're not loading ladders on and off the van, not having to set stuff up and move stuff around. If they can get really good at using the camera really quickly, just send the camera up. Maybe they've got a strap on their arm with the phone on their arm, so that, ooh, that's a nice idea, so that as they're doing the gutters, they can see the camera, they can see where they need to go. Or instead of having a separate inspection pole, they just have the camera on top of the nozzle, on top of the gutter clearing nozzle. I don't know which one's better, don't know which one's more effective. The only way to do it on your own as an employee would be to tether the ladder to the building and wear a harness like the Sky Engineers. It's not practical, but I can't see another way of doing it. So, yeah, it's just not that blows all profit out of the job, doesn't it? You just wouldn't be able to do that on every single property. You could argue that, you know, 3 out of 6 jobs you wouldn't need the ladder at all, which is fine, but on those other 3 jobs, the time involved would just be ridiculous for just a simple low ticket job. So is that the only way to do it on your own, Daz, do you think? You think there's no way that you could justify, regardless of what other equipment there is, other safety equipment and stuff, there's no other way that you could justify someone going up a ladder on their own? What about, I was thinking about this, what about like a video call? Or what about a panic button or something? If someone were to fall off a ladder, us back at HQ would be made aware of it. I know it's too late at that point, but it's like, Asher Insurance Company. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I would personally find it tough to clear the gutters full time. I think a member of staff would need some variation in the work. It could become mind-numbing quite quickly. It could, but also I think some people sit on a till all day and scan food. You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying about variation, but some people's jobs, a factory worker on an assembly line, you want to talk about mind-numbing. I think driving around in your own van, visiting different properties and stuff, I don't think it's that bad as a gig. As long as you're being paid adequately for it, which I would pay that person very well. You think on average, the average gutter clearing job's probably going to be about 100 quid, maybe more. If they're doing 5 or 6 a day, you can afford to pay them well, you know what I mean? Yeah, window cleaning, there's that as well. That's pretty repetitive. Get an ex-window cleaner to do it. They live on ladders. They'll be confident for the odd time they may need to get a ladder. It's a good point, Dave. The issue I've got with hiring someone that's done the job before is, one, there's a reason they went self-employed. It's because they want to work for themselves. 2, I don't want someone with bad habits. And like, if you've got previous experience doing something, you probably already think you know it all. And so that person might be quite hard to train and to do it my way, to do it the way I want to do it. So, but you do make a good point. The Sky engineers only tether to the wall when they're accessing a dish. Do you think a customer would want a 10mm eye bolt every 3 feet in their brickwork? No, I don't. I once worked in a sweet factory. There was a team in there that stood all day on an assembly line putting the same sweets in pots. Nothing can be more boring than that. Would that include cleaning the outside or just to clear? I don't see myself offering or pushing at all gutters, fascias and soffit cleaning, even though we've got a whole section for it in the Discord for gutters, fascias, soffits. I've just added a number 2 here, look. I mean, the quality of some of these images is just unreal. It's out of this world. State of that. Beautiful. Oh, he does a good job, doesn't he? State of that. Local school down in Redditch. Beautiful. Oh, he does a good job. I don't think I'd push this as a service because no one I've met enjoys this. So I don't think I'd want to subject an employee to do this full time. And it saps so much time out of your day. Like the time it takes to do one of these, to do a house, the time it takes to do one of these, I could probably do 2 gutter clearing jobs. So you can't really charge twice the money. Maybe you can. Maybe you could. Say, for example, you're doing £100 gutter clear. A fascia and soffit clean on that property is probably going to be about another £130 roughly. To make it worthwhile, I'd want to charge another £200, not another £130. But then you'd start losing jobs, and you'd start being considered expensive. But that's the sort of money I'd want. So I don't know. What does everyone else think? I wouldn't want to subject someone to do this sort of work all day, would you? It's satisfying. I mean, you get good photos from it. It's definitely satisfying. A clear is half the work of cleaning the outside. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Still not got the Discord notification set up, I see. What do you mean, Macaulay? What do you mean? Discord notification? What are you talking about? Notification for what? That's what podcasts and audiobooks are for, so you don't get bored doing repetitive jobs. Very true. That's what I did when I first started the business and I was going around on my own all day. I would smash through audiobooks, smash through podcasts. I'd listen to the same albums over and over again, same music over and over again. As I've just bought a Panther, I was wondering if I would get just clearing jobs. I like to steer clear of washing gutters. Would customers just want to clear? Most of the time, if I'm advertising gutter clearing, I'd say 100% of those people that get in touch for gutter clearing get in touch. I'd say probably another 30% of them ask if they can be cleaned and cleared. And then you could probably convert 50% of them if you were to push it and say, which service would you like? We offer gutter clearing. I call it gutter vacuuming because it's more visual. You can sort of understand it mentally when you call it gutter vacuuming. Or exterior gutter, fascia and soffit washing. We offer both services. Which one would you like a quote for? When you say that, most of the time they will say, can you quote for both? It's a really, really simple, easy upsell if you want that work, but I've stopped saying it because I don't want the work. So if they get in touch for gutter cleaning, it's what a lot of people say. They say, can you clean my gutters out? Or can you clean my gutters? And I'll give them a price, and I'll be very specific. I'll give them a price to vacuum out the gutters. It's going to cost this much. I don't even mention the fascia and soffit washing anymore because I don't really want the work. Regarding ladders and health and safety, I didn't like going up ladders until I started working for Sky. I worked for them for 17 years and now don't mind going up and down ladders. Yeah, I didn't like ladders before. I didn't like heights at all. I thought ladders were very unsafe. I still think to an extent ladders aren't particularly great at the job that we need them for, but again, with ladders, I don't think that's the final form of, I don't think those ladders are finished. I think there's more innovation to be made. Notification for the lives. Oh, Macaulay, sorry, I understand exactly what you mean. Letting the Discord know that I'm live on YouTube. Yeah, sorry, I haven't set that up. I should probably post it on Instagram, Facebook, Discord, YouTube. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? I charge £200 to clean the gutters and fascias on a 3-bed house. £250 if they're having the gutters emptied too. Is that about right? See, I price it the other way round. I start with clearing the gutters and then do a package deal for gutters, fascias, soffits. But that works for you. Yeah, that works. On a 3-bedroom house, £200. Sounds about right. As long as they haven't got a conservatory or anything, sounds about right. Some of these houses have got like extra pieces of cladding around like the front porch or under the front windows and stuff. They've got like extra cladding, which sometimes you've got to watch out for because that can be a big job on its own, can't it? Did you use your phone to listen to the podcast? And did you carry your phone in your pocket? I'd just get a decent set of Bluetooth headphones. And yeah, Spotify. Get a Spotify Premium on your phone so you're not listening to adverts all day. And you've got access to literally everything. Yeah. All music, all podcasts, some audiobooks. I'm sure you can automate it. Yeah, Matt was going to help me with it, but we haven't really spoken the last week or two. So I got Gutter Vacuum in at about £30 to £35 a side. It sort of depends on where you are, Preston. Yeah, I'm at around about £45 a side now, but I started out at about £4. I think I started out at £30 a side when I first started, and I think someone actually told me on Facebook, you're doing it too cheap. I was like, okay, I'm going to up my prices. And then I started at 40, and now I'm at 45. I still don't feel like I can charge enough for the facial and soffit washing. I can't charge as much as I want to without feeling like I'm ripping the customer off, but I don't really want to do it for any less, so it's a difficult one. Has anyone got any exterior cleaning related questions that have been bugging them that they think I might be able to answer? I can absolutely do my best for you. This is a good opportunity. I'm signing in the process of signing another contract with Moja for 2026, and I've asked them if this year we can give away a couple of units, and they said they're going to look into it. Shouldn't be an issue. So that'll be cool. Have you seen the new light for jet washer lamps from PWS? Game changer. I have, Tracy. What makes you say game changer? I can't really see any use for it apart from obviously if you're cleaning at night. I don't know how many people in the industry. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that do commercial and they do council work and stuff, but for the everyman like me, I don't see how a torch on a lance is going to be a game changer personally. But cool. It's a very cool bit. Like, cool that you can do that. Weird that no one's done it before as well. It's dark at like 4. Yeah, that's true. It is getting dark earlier now. That is true. I'm curious about Google Ads as well. I'm going to start running. I don't know whether to employ someone first, get them trained up, or start running the ads first. It's going to be an expensive January, I'll tell you that. A unit, a new van, all the new gutter cleaning equipment, a new employee, and running Google Ads, potentially all in 1 month. It's going to be wild. Very expensive. However, I think I can make it pay for itself in a year or less. If I've got someone out there doing, 4 to 6, maybe 7 gutters a day, I think I can make it work. It just depends if I think I've got a solid base for Google Ads now. I think I'm ready to start actually promoting stuff and paying for it. Can we talk about flat surface cleaners? I've got 12 litre per minute, 190 bar. What would be good to get? I've been doing driveways for about a year. Haven't got around to buying one, surprisingly. Yeah, of course, 12 litres per minute, 190 bar. So honestly, you're going to want something small. Generally, I think I got this from Darren at PWS. He says you want about 1 inch for every litres per minute. So you'd probably want a 12-inch flat surface cleaner, which isn't very big. But more importantly than the flat surface cleaner itself is the nozzles you put in it. So if you've got 12 litres per minute, 190 bar, so 100, Let's go 200 bar, and we'll just go down a little bit from there. 200 bar, 13. So let's do 200 bar, 11 liters per minute. So you're going to want 035 nozzles. So for a little flat surface cleaner, can we do it the other way? 175, 10, 035, 12, 04. So you're going to want like 2 O2 nozzles in it. So you've got a bar, you've got a spinning bar on your flat surface cleaner. I've just done a really good video for boosted members only. Shall I play it for you? I don't think I should. I don't think I should because it's for boosted members only. But let me give you a little snippet. Right then, today we're going to be... Shush. So here I go through everything to do with nozzles. And yeah, if you're a boosted member, you've got access to this information. And I'll show you exactly how to spec your flat surface cleaners. Exactly what difference scaling down your nozzles or oversizing your nozzles has on the performance. And I'll show you the little bit on the end. So flat surface cleaners, depending on how many bars you've got on your surface cleaner, how to manage that as well. But yeah, you want around about 12 inch if you've got a 12 litre per minute machine. So there's this as well. So if you were to take this one for example, if your machine requires an 06 nozzle, a single 06, if you've got 2 nozzles on your flat surface cleaner, you want 2 03s because you just divide it by 2. And if you've got 3 nozzles, you divide it by 3, so you'd have 3 02s. So that's generally how you spec your flat surface cleaner. But this nozzle chart, you can find this, just type in pressure washer nozzle chart into Google. I use the one on flowjet.co.uk. My turbo nozzle is 035. Yeah, I'd say you probably want 2 O2 nozzles. Probably. I'm in the Discord, matey. Where can I find that video? So now that you're are you a boosted member? As long as you're a boosted member, Preston, you'll see it on YouTube. It was posted a couple of weeks ago. How do you manage this? You don't run your pressure washer at full whack, right? So do you base yours off similar? Again, I talk about it in that video, whereby if you don't want to run at full whack, but you still want to maintain 200 bar, for example, you can just put a smaller nozzle on. You still get your 200 bar, but you can turn everything on the machine down, so you're using less water, less fuel. This is what confuses me, all the size charts and stuff. Well, I think that video is a good one. I think it will help. Anyone who's a boosted member gets access to those videos there. So, hello, Steve. Welcome, matey. How you doing? I've got a 15 litre JCB pressure washer. I was sold a 20-inch flat surface cleaner. It's rubbish. It's too big. Yes. Yeah, you want around about a 16-inch flat surface cleaner for that one. Tips do make a big difference. Rex, welcome. And also, I will say for most of you guys that are starting out, or if you've got a smaller machine, I wouldn't even bother trying to clean block paving with your flat surface cleaner. Even if you put 15-degree nozzles on instead of 25-degree nozzles, even if you scale them down so you can use more PSI, even if you lower the bar, I don't think your machine has got enough cleaning power to adequately clean block paving. You're going to leave weeds, you're going to leave moss. I've been there. I wouldn't even bother unless you're using 21, 25, 30 litres per minute upwards. I don't think there's any point. I wouldn't even waste your time. Fight me. Has anyone else got any questions? I can be here as long as you need me here for. So the only reason I do these live streams is just in case people need help. I don't respond to messages on like Facebook and Instagram really. I chat to people in the Discord. So the Discord is generally where I offer the most help. But I dedicate once a week to people who don't want to pay to be in the Discord, which I totally get, absolutely fine. But I dedicate a day a week or an evening a week to try and help people. So, is that wine? It is, yeah, it's red wine. I'm back on the booze for Christmas, boys. I can't find the videos. Let me show you. If you're a boosted member, you must be a boosted member. And you go to my channel. And then you go in the playlists section. There is some course material here. Equipment course. Right then, today we're going to be talking. There's first time setting up your machine and turning it on. And then we've got nozzles, how they affect your flow and pressure. Should be 2 videos in that playlist. And I'll be dropping more as and when I film them. Good to hear it. I was in Edinburgh for 3 days last week, drank lots of whiskey, brought lots of whiskey. Nice. Bought lots of whiskey. Yeah, I think it was a conscious decision. I wasn't pushed into it in any way. I didn't crumble. I've done probably like in total. See, it's difficult to say now because I've been sober since February the 11th. So almost a year, kind of. But in between that, I drank on my stag do. I drank for a week when we went on holiday. And so it's not been a streak. It's not been like a year streak. So I thought, look, I've got Christmas coming up. It's getting cold. The vibes of, coming, finishing work in the cold and you go to a nice cozy pub with a fire and have a beer with your brother. It's all my brother's fault. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's just nice. It's nice. And I've got, Christmas coming up. I've got my wedding in January. And I'm going to be drinking at my wedding anyway. So I wasn't going to make it to the 11th of February without drinking at all. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy myself. I'm impressed with myself that I've done what I've done, because I've drank for over 10 years. Every week I've drank constantly for over 10 years. And I've done almost a year sober, and I'm proud of that. And no one is going to take that away from me. I think I've done really good. And I've proved to myself that I'm not relying on it. That was the main thing, to prove to myself that I can do it. And I did. And let's be honest, going to a hot country and sitting by the beach for a week, sitting by the pool, if you enjoy a drink and you're not taking that opportunity to unwind, it's a little bit of a missed opportunity, really, isn't it? Like, who am I doing it for? I know why I'm doing it, and maybe I'll do it again after my wedding. Who knows? Where's Jakey at? Rich is going to be gutted when the lad comes back. Evening, Luke. Welcome, mate. Jakey is still in Australia. He's going to be in Australia, I think, till about the 28th. What's the pressure washer you recommend that's suitable for all surfaces? The pressure washer that's suitable for all surfaces. Jamie, what I'd say is, if you're taking pressure washing seriously, virtually any petrol powered pressure washer is going to be adequate for most surfaces. It's more about the nozzles that you choose and the pressure that you choose to run on the pressure washer. It's not about the machine itself, it's about how you use it, which nozzles you choose, how you dial in your pressure. See, this is the thing, you get all sorts of, I get all sorts of comments on Facebook saying, I got one today. This is such a bizarre comment. Have a look at this. Shush. So I've posted a very innocent gutter clearing video. I didn't think this would cause any drama. I posted this. The caption is free gutter inspections in and around Redditch. Free, no strings attached, book via the website. 2 clips of me just clearing gutters with the vacuum. Does the job, I thought. Good bit of marketing. Someone else decided that this was an attack. I'd launched an attack on them, and they felt the need to defend themselves. And so what they said was, damn it. What they said was, no skills needed here. Imagine being a Kevin and deciding to take time out of your day to comment on someone's video. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to cause commotion. I'm not trying to say this is the best way of doing it. I'm not trying to say I've got any talent whatsoever. All I'm doing is saying, if you want a free gutter inspection, click on my website. And he said, no skills needed here. Someone else has said, you never get a price. I don't know what she means. I don't know what Sue means there. I've never interacted with Sue, ever. So I don't know what she's on about. Someone's talking about, has the industry dwindled down so much that people are offering free stuff? And Luke Bailey kindly pointed out that it's actually a clever marketing tactic. Thank you, Luke. People think I'm literally attacking them. Learn a real tradesman's skills, not labourer's work, Kevin says. I feel personally attacked. This video did well. This video did 48,000 views on Facebook. Which ain't bad really, is it? New van, what have I missed? I haven't bought a new van yet. I'm considering setting someone up to do gutter clearing full time under the name of Smelts Gutter Clearing. Train them up, sort them out a new van, sort them out brand new gutter clearing equipment, inspection cameras, new ladders, the lot. Sending them out 5 or 6, 7 gutter jobs a day. Motivate them with good money, good food, good atmosphere, good working hours, good boss, Where would you rather be? I've got my van signage getting put on tomorrow. Are you going to switch up your design when you get the new van? Yes. Yeah, so if I decide to pull the trigger on the rebrand, everything's changing. Website's changing, logo's changing, van's changing. Yeah. I went to look at a school the other day. The person who asked me to quote couldn't see me on someone else. Couldn't see me, so someone else showed me around, but didn't know which gutters they wanted cleared. It was a waste of time. Oh, that's cool. They got you out to see the school. Someone's organised for you to come out and see. Caretaker's shown you around and said, oh, I don't actually know which ones they want doing. Good luck pricing that one. Jake, I've sent you something on Discord, a direct message from ChatGPT. What do you make of that? Preston, I'll be honest, mate. I don't tend to check my personal messages on Discord, because the reason I made the Discord is so that it's like a private / it's a private public forum. What I like is if someone's got a question, they ask it, even if it's a dumb question, they ask it in an open forum so we can all learn and we can all chip in. But on this occasion, I'll check my message requests and I will respond accordingly. Preston, I don't see your message on Discord. Is it a message, or have you posted in? I don't see. No. What's your name on Discord, Preston? These aren't your customers. Smile and move on. Don't give them the airtime. Little sausage jockeys. You know what I've actually started doing? I've started actually deleting comments. I've got a very strict rule. So for the longest time, I've allowed free speech in my comment sections on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I've allowed people to say whatever they say. I don't believe in silencing people. I think no matter how brash they've been or insulting they've been, I very much believe in allowing people to express themselves. If I want to post something publicly on a public forum and share it with the world, I have to expect the world to have opinions on what I'm doing, and that's absolutely fine. However, recently, people have got very loose with their insults. They're quite happy. They call me a cowboy. They call me a dumb little boy. They call me a silly... What? A silly wanker. They just call me stuff in the comments. They call me mean names. And I've decided I shouldn't have to log in every day and read those comments. So I've started deleting comments that are... Their only goal is to insult me. I'm quite happy deleting those. If someone massively disagrees and they've got a heated discussion and they disagree with me and they want to tell me how unsafe I'm being, or they want to tell me how dangerous I am or how idiotic I'm being, I'm quite happy for them to express that as long as they don't insult me. Oh, Lewis has posted it here. Okay, here we go. Match the flow, not the PSI. 12 litres per minute, 190 bar. So pick a surface cleaner rated for 10 to 15 litres per minute. Size to buy 14 to 16 inches. 15 is the sweet spot for powerful cleaning without starving the pump. That doesn't make sense. That sentence there, so this is the issue with ChatGPT. That sentence does not make sense. 15-inch surface cleaner is the sweet spot. Powerful cleaning without starving the pump. They're getting the flow rate confused with the size of the surface cleaner. The flow rate isn't impacted at all starving the pump is not impacted at all by the size of your surface cleaner. It's impacted by the size of your nozzles. Avoid 18-inch plus. They usually need 15 to 20 litres per minute. Underperform on your machine. That's correct. That sentence is correct. Most surface cleaners use 2 nozzles. I'd expect to use... Oh, okay. There we go. That's correct. 25 degree 025. 25 degree 030. I'd go for smaller. So generally, if you're working with lower pressure and you want to try and maximize the amount of pressure you can use, instead of making the orifice of the tips too big, like an 030, that's slightly too big for your machine. You want to do it, rather than going over, go slightly under and do it as an 025. The stainless steel head, brush skirt, keeps a splash down, whatever. Brands like V-Tough, Mossmatic, yep, fine. Rated for 12 litres per minute, 200 bar, fine. You could quite happily use a 14-inch flat surface cleaner, but the power it's going to take to spin that bar, you could get more efficiency out of a smaller surface cleaner. Yes, you could clean a larger area with the 14-inch slower, but you could clean a smaller area with a 12-inch potentially quicker, because you're able to use the full power of the machine and spin the bar faster. Yeah, it's very hit and miss, ChatGPT. Very hit and miss. Kevin is upset because he has a skilled trade but earns less than you. Alternatively, his wife ran off with the gutter cleaner. What would you pay for that, Jake? Let's say they're on 8 till 4, providing they're all within a 10-mile radius. I generally do half 8 till 4. I would say maybe even less, half 8 till 3. I think that's a nice day. 10-mile radius. I think reasonably, depending on their experience, depending on whether they're actually completing 6 to 7 jobs a day. I mean, you're potentially earning 600 quid for the business, minus tax. 600 times 0.8, 480 quid for the business. I think they'd be quite happily entitled to half that if I'm providing all the equipment, the van, the fuel, the food. I provide lunch for my staff as well. So you're looking at between around about, I'd say about 180 to 240. I think to turn up to work, it's not a particularly long shift. You're getting your lunch paid for, you're getting your fuel paid for, you're getting a nice van to drive around in, all your equipment sorted. You just have to go out and do the work. I think 180 quid to about 240 quid on the top end. I think that's fair. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. Depending on experience, if someone's fit and able and they're learning quickly, I'd have no issue paying them top whack straight away. But if someone needs like a lot of nurturing and they're a bit slower, they're not getting through all the jobs that I booked in the calendar for them, or I feel like I can't book as many jobs in as I really want to, then yeah, it's a process, isn't it? I'm on a school tomorrow. Roof's leaking. One definitely is a blocked gutter, and the other I'm assuming is a genuine leak, as it's a flat roof. There you go. Nice getting in with schools, isn't it? Yeah, most of the time they're blocked up with like tennis balls and bottles and stuff. Ryan pays his window cleaning lad 33 grand a year, plus gym and private healthcare, etc. Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. If he's pulling in more than that for the business, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Doesn't matter what you pay them, as long as your business is profiting from it. It doesn't make sense to put someone in a job just so that you can say that you've got another staff member. I mean, what's 240? Well, let's just say, for example, £200 a day, 5 days a week. That's £1,000 a week, minus tax. Roughly £800 a week, 4 weeks. You know, it's £3,000 a month, over £3,000 a month after tax. Is that right? Over £3,000 a month after tax just for clearing gutters. And you've got all your food paid for and your fuel and stuff. Seems like a good deal, doesn't it? £150 including a van, lunch and fuel is more than enough. Very good money, and you'd have interest in that. 72 grand a year before tax is mega. But consider what they'd be earning for the business if you do 6 gutters a day, £600 a day, after tax, £480 times 5 days, £2,400 a week for the business. Let's just say it's 50 weeks of the year, 2 weeks off, for example. 120 grand a year for the business if you can make that work consistently. I suppose it depends on how much you're spending on like marketing that service and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to earn as much money as physically possible. I'm trying to create a nice culture where people actually want to work for me and they get paid well and everyone's profitable. You know what I mean? And it's graft as well. It's not like it's easy work. It is graft. Yeah, and there's a lot of responsibility going around someone's property. Big poles, ladders, all that sort of stuff. Like, would I notice the difference between a 15 litre per minute machine and a 21, or should I jump straight into a 30? I've just started and I'm thinking it's the future. Thinking in the future. Dave, I would suggest, I noticed a bigger jump in pressure. So if you go from a 170 bar machine, for example, to a 250 bar machine, you'll notice a massive difference in cleaning power from the machine. With regards to going from 15 to 21, you'll probably just notice that you get the job done a little bit quicker. I don't think it's a massive step up. 30 litres per minute, you're never going to use 30 litres per minute on residential properties. It's just too much. If you're trying to put down 200 bar, 30 litres per minute on a residential property, one, you're just going to be blasting stuff everywhere. You're using too much water, unnecessary amount of water, and you're going to get through your buffer tank in minutes. It's pointless. 21 litres per minute at 200 bar is the sweet spot. On full whack, that is the sweet spot for cleaning like block paving. Any more than that, and it just, unless you're running a surface cleaner, unless you're trying to run a surface cleaner on block paving, which is hit and miss, I think it's overkill. I use a 30 litre per minute machine, but I've got it on idle. I'm running it, I'm turning the engine down to the lowest possible revs, and then I've got just the pressure turned up. And I'm using a smaller nozzle, so I'm not actually allowing as much water to come through. 150 quid is top money for a starter, slightly experienced in my opinion. 62 grand a year. I think £32 an hour is a bit high. £20 an hour is very decent wage for the role, but then I guess you have to make them want to stay and not go off to do their own. Wish I had Jake as a boss. Yeah, I mean, this is for someone full-time. And they're out on their own. I'm not having to go out with them. They're fully independent. I can trust them with I can trust them just to get on with it. It's a lot to do with trust as well. You know what I mean? Maybe you're right. Maybe that is too much. I don't know. I've never had to employ someone before that's, you know, just fully independent out on their own, so I don't really know. Sort of making it up as I go along. I was crawling in muddy lorry yards, fitting DVD/CCTV cameras for £15 an hour, £100 a day. I'll start in the new year. Wish I had Jake as a boss. If you can get the work, it's out there. It's a no-brainer. I've done 6 and faces, soffits, gutters today in the piss pouring rain. No let up. Yeah, I think also I think if you treat your staff well and show goodwill, you'll find very quickly those that are trying to take advantage of that, and those people just wouldn't last around me. I don't stand for it. As soon as I realise this person's trying to take advantage, I will distance myself from them and probably just yeah, they just wouldn't last very long. I like to have good people around me, and I'm happy to pay good money for good people. Doing it consistently and doing it regularly is another conversation, because yeah, once you commit to someone's pay, you can't then decrease it. So maybe it would be wise to start out on the lower end of the scale and say, look, if you prove to me that you can do this reliably, consistently, you're not calling in sick, you know, every other week, and you're getting through the workload that I'm giving to you, I have no issues increasing your pay very quickly. And yeah. Do you think the generator for the GVS would be okay for small K2 Karcher, thinking for cleaning outside the gutters? Possibly. You've just got to look at the wattage output on the Karcher. I think the Panther is 1700 watts. I think the generator does about 2300 watts. I can't imagine the Karcher is any more than that. I bet it's a lower output than the Panther vacuum. You'd have to pay for the holiday entitlement. The day might not be very full every day, etc. Yeah, so this is the issue I've got with paying someone a day rate versus hourly rate as well. It's like, if I'm on holiday for a week, for example, and I take the foot off the gas with regards to marketing, and then stuff dries up, like it has December. Honestly, I've taken my foot off the gas throughout December. I'm not looking for work at the minute. I'm chilling, and there is still stuff coming in. I'm still doing quotes every day, but I got to the point where I've got very burnt out, and I'm last week was tough. It was a tough week. But if that happens to me, when I've got an employee that I'm counting on doing this much money per day, it becomes an issue then, doesn't it? Because if I'm not filling their calendar, they're potentially still getting paid a really good whack for not really doing much. Maybe I can get them to wash the vans or something, tidy the office. I really love the idea of a little unit. The one we saw today would be really cool. It would be perfect. Podcast studio, storage for all our bits, admin office for if we decide to get someone on the team to do admin. Yeah, just like rendezvous point in the morning. Outdoor tap. and it's like right central. Not centre of Redditch, but central to where I like to be in and around Redditch. You have lots to consider. Oh, I've already read that. My 12 litre per minute VTUF machine on the O3 turbo nozzle is perfect for residential properties. Use the customer's tap straight into my pressure washer. No starving or issues. No buffer tank. Yes, Preston, that's sounds ideal. Idyllic. You would find, Preston, you would find a massive difference going from 12 litres per minute to 21. So that you'd see a considerable difference. Using like an 035 nozzle and then using an 07 nozzle, for example, the amount of water, the amount more water you'd be able to put down onto the surface, you'd get through these jobs much quicker. But if it's more of like a side hustle, or if you're running out of a small car or a small van, you've got lots of the equipment, and you're not too bothered about making up much more time. I mean, you could argue time setting up a buffer tank, time waiting for the buffer tank to fill is time wasted. So I wonder, I'd be very curious on a 40 square meter drive, for example, how long it would take you to set up and get going to the point where you're finished versus me to arrive, fill up my tank, get going and finish. I wonder, I think I'd probably win, but I wonder how much there'd be in it, you know what I mean? No pressure washer should be near gutters, fascias or soffits. Luke, I disagree. I think if you're using less than around about 125 bar, 130 bar or less maybe, I think it's a much more efficient way of cleaning inside the clips. So the clips are notoriously difficult to get your brush into and zhuzh. It's very quick for just cleaning the gutters, both sides. Faces, I think it's fine. With the correct, fan jet, correct pressure. However, soffits, I don't think you should be angling the nozzle up and trying to clean up underneath the soffits and firing water into the soffit. Most of the time the soffits aren't even pinned down, so they'll wobble about and you'll be able to get water up there. A lot of the time soffits have got holes in them for I guess it's for air circulation under the roof or something. You're going to fire water up underneath those holes. That can't be a good thing. The reason the soffits are overhanging is so they don't get water in them. I think gutters and fascias are fine. Fight me. I bet the rinse down's quicker with the 21. Yes, it is, yeah. Yeah, higher flow, low pressure, getting like a water broom. Like this one, for example, on my website. That nozzle, for example, fairly low pressure in the grand scheme of things, but high flow, lots of water coming out of it. And you just can't use a nozzle like that to its full potential on like a 12 litre per minute machine. Or can I be more nerdy and change the final drive if my machine has one? No idea, Preston. No idea. I've got a porcelain patio clean on Friday. Can you use a turbo nozzle on it? Dave, you can. You will do very well to damage porcelain. You won't damage porcelain. The thing that you will damage very easily with a turbo nozzle is those thin, super thin, narrow joints that you always see with porcelain installs. And even more so if they've not been flow pointed. and it's just like a brushing jointing compound, those joints are going to disintegrate as soon as you get your turbo nozzle anywhere near it. So porcelain itself, absolutely fine to use a turbo nozzle on. I would recommend using a flat surface cleaner. If you don't have a flat surface cleaner, what I would suggest is you could quite happily soft wash the whole thing with some strong hypo and a brush. Just go around and brush it all, and then do like a nice soft rinse with a fan jet. Porcelain is one of the easiest surfaces to clean because it's so dense that it doesn't absorb organic growth. The only thing you might find that it absorbs are rust stains. But porcelain, you could lick a porcelain slab and it'll be clean. You don't need very high pressure at all. I find with porcelain we generally run like less than 150 bar on a flat surface cleaner, buzz over it once, and it's pristine. And then all we tend to do is like sanitize it with a weak hypo mix. I always like to do the hypo afterwards because I know it's like properly clean then. Sometimes you get the algae growing in certain patterns and you can see 6 months later the algae's growing and you can sort of see the lines where you've been with the surface cleaner because it hadn't been sanitized. You haven't killed any of that organic growth. You've just sort of taken the surface layer off. Reckon I'm too old to start at 40 after 20 plus years working in an office. I'm hungry for it. Tom, you're never too old to do anything, mate. You do whatever you want. If you're driven and you're motivated and you're willing to work hard, you can do anything you want. 40 is nothing. You're still in your prime. Yeah, an X-Jet is good for rinsing. Again, it's not having a tiny orifice in the nozzle that's creating high pressure. If you can widen that orifice and have a wider nozzle so you can let more water through, even though it's more water at lower pressure, low pressure, high volume of water is really good for rinsing down, good for moving muck. It's not good for cleaning, it's good for rinsing. This is why I'm wanting to come to the PWSAS day to try a few different machines. Yeah, I mean, I'll be using my, I'll have my van set up. We'll have surface cleaners, we'll have roof cleaning equipment. I'll probably bring my backpack, I'll probably bring my gutter vacuum. You can try whatever you want to try. This would be a great video. Time one against the other. Yeah, that would be a good video. Looking to start in the new year, your page has really helped me get all the tools I need until a new shiny attachment becomes available. Sam, I know the feeling. There is always something in this industry that you need to buy. There's always something that's going to make the job quicker. There's always something that is an absolute game changer. The most overused term in the industry. Nothing ever changes the game. It just speeds you up a couple of minutes, potentially. I would say try not to get trapped in that mindset of spending every penny that you get from the business and pouring it back into just brand new equipment and upgrades and bigger van and bigger gutter vac and bigger pressure washer and more nozzles and 3D printed this and that and roof cleaning stuff and towers and there's so much you could buy. But at what point do you sit back, maintain the equipment that you've got, and settle and actually start running a profitable business? Because else, what are you working for? You could make 100 grand a year and get to the point where you're paying no tax because all of your profits are just being poured back into new equipment and upgrades and maintenance. But what's the point in running a business? What's the point in working for yourself if you never get to enjoy your profits? I don't really understand the mindset. It's a very easy trap because the industry is constantly advertising to you. Everyone's trying to outcompete each other, I think, potentially. I've never dwelled on that thought before. That's just something that came out my mouth. Is everyone trying to outcompete each other? I don't know. There is that tendency to see someone on Facebook with an insane rig in the back of their van, putting out steam, the clouds of steam going everywhere, and it's just like, it just looks so quick and efficient, and you just think that's what I'm working towards. But you don't know that person's financial situation. Some people are spenders. There's a difference between investing and being a busy fool. And if you're working just to buy new equipment, what is the point in working? Make your business work for you, don't work for your business. Wise words, totally agree. I've done this in music. We're never happy, always wanting more. Sometimes you got to say, wait, take stock and be happy with what you've got. Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff. There's cameras, there's editing software, there's Google Ads, there's so much money. There's so many, this industry, because we earn a decent whack, we earn good money for what we do. I think suppliers and agencies, whether it's marketing agencies, SEO, all that sort of stuff, we're a great target. We're a great target for people trying to sell us stuff. And I think you've just got to be quite careful about it. I would like to try your machine, Jake, on a turbo nozzle and a flat surface cleaner to see the difference, if that's okay. Preston, absolutely fine, mate. Lewis, sorry, absolutely fine. Just let me know. Pressure washing a roof or scraping it. Dave, on the... Are you talking about the demo day? I think we're going to be... Oh, I could do both, couldn't I? We could set up a pressure washer, roof cleaning pole, and we could set up a roof scraping pole as well. And we could do both. Has anyone tried the B&Q budget surface cleaners? Yes, I've tried a few budget surface cleaners. I think Stee as well. Stee and Craig started out using some of the budget, like Amazon surface cleaners and stuff. And they swore by them at first. I don't know about that now, especially for roof cleaning. I think they might have changed their mind now. But they're sort of disposable. They're like 50, 60 quid. And you use them probably 5, 6, 7 times and then they break. And then you just buy a new one, but I think that's quite wasteful personally. When and where is the show? Sorry, joined late. Apologies, no problem at all. If you have a look on pressure washer sales and service, they are in Evesham. Here's the address, in Worcestershire. Technically Pershore, not Evesham. They've got a small workshop and a showroom, and the weather should be decent. Free pizza, free coffee, and just demoing equipment and having a chat, really. Thank you, Jake. I'm about 30% autistic and 92% anxiety, so I'll have to pluck up the courage to come over and ask, mate. I know the feeling. I might come across as quite confident on camera and stuff, but in front of people, it's a different kettle of fish. I never know what to say, never know how to act. Fancy putting us up for the night? I'm afraid not. Oh, I didn't tell you, like, my cat died. Kippy, some of you might have seen her on the live stream, jumping on the keyboard every now and again. She died the other day. She went out in the night, or went out in the day, never came back on the night, which is unusual. She's like 23, deaf and blind, and she climbed onto the neighbour's tyre underneath the wheel arch. We think she died, but then obviously the neighbour reversed out, and then she definitely died. So we think she was already dead, but heartbreaking, absolutely terrible. Very old cat. Sorry about that. I don't know. What a strange way to bring the stream to an end. I've seen the video with the tarmac sealer pouring it on, but would you do it like the Americans with a brush? I think the tarmac sealer that we use isn't really designed to pull, to be allowed to pull. You sort of want to scrape it back out and not allow puddles. I think that stuff that you see in the US is a different sort of bitumen-based tarmac sealer. And also their tarmac seems to be a lot smoother than ours as well. So it lends itself to being squeegeed around. Whereas the driveways that we clean are definitely not smooth. It's on Friday. So the demo day is Friday. And it's, I think they said 9 till 2 or 9 till 4. I can't really remember. There's the address at the top there, look. Anime Sync, welcome. Guys, I'm going to head off. We've done 2.5 hours. I'd urge you, if you're looking for a community to join and you've got silly questions and you need answers and you generally need help and advice if you've got your first job coming up or you're not sure which equipment to buy, we run a Discord channel. We've got channels for newbies, a channel for identifying different surfaces if you need help with what sort of pressure to use, what sort of chemicals to use. We've got a couple of suppliers like Darren from PWS. We've got Julia from Gutter Vacuum Systems that chips in and helps out with questions. We've got Tom from CleanLink, Ben from Rutland Pumps. We've got Mike from Pure Seal. We've got Leanne from Smart Seal. There's a bunch of people, sorry if I've missed anyone, there's a bunch of people here that help out regularly with questions and answers. We have a repointing chat, we've got a sealing chat, we've got a wood care chat, we've got a roof cleaning chat, gutters, solar panels, render, window cleaning. We can help you with pretty much anything and everything. And then if you do decide to sign up as a boosted member, you get hundreds and hundreds of images to use for your marketing. Block paving, gutter images, fascias and soffits, conservatories. block paving images. There's absolutely loads, and I'm adding more as we speak. And in order to join, you just need to go to my channel. On the main page, let me just switch my account so you can see what I see. On the main page, there's a join button here. Circle members get access to the Discord. If you join as a boosted member, you'll get access to all the photos as well that you can use for your marketing. If you don't see that join button, it's likely that you're on an Apple device, in which case you just need to click on this description on the main channel, and you can click on the Apple memberships link, and that'll take you to it as well. Support members do not get access to the Discord. But yeah, lots of help and advice, lots of resources here. And if you just generally want to be a part of a good community, helping each other out, it is the place to be. Chaps, I highly recommend the Discord channel. I wouldn't have even started a pressure washing company if it wasn't for Jake and this chat. Definitely worth a couple of quid a month. Preston, thank you so much. Very kind. No Mac GPT today. I don't think he's been in, has he? He's been quiet the last couple of weeks, actually. Maybe I need to give him a text. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your week. Make it a good one. Make it productive. Set yourself a list of targets. That's what I've started doing. I've started every day. Every day I wake up early and I'm writing myself a to-do list. Things that I want to get done for the day, especially when I've not got a huge amount going on. Tasks that I want to tick off and fully get done before the end of that day. And it's a really, really good way of organising yourself. How do I get my name on the orange box on the bottom left? It might prompt you to resubscribe at some point. Every month it will prompt you to resubscribe, and then your name will pop up on the bottom. You've just got to like send it me so the notification pops up that you've resubscribed. Some people just ignore it and nothing happens, but if you click resubscribe and write a message, it'll pop up. See you Friday, Daz. Yeah, if anyone's coming to the meet on Friday, I'll see you there.